A young student lived with his master in a floating monastery on a lake, nestled in the quiet mountains of Korea. One day, the student tied a stone to a small fish and laughed as the fish struggled to swim. The master silently observed his student's behavior. That night, while the student was asleep, the master tied a stone to him. In the morning, the master said that the student could not remove the stone until he freed the creature he had bound. The young monk struggled through the forest with the heavy burden on his back, but eventually found the fish he had tied, now dead at the bottom of the river. The master watched as the student began to cry, regretting his actions. 15 years later, the young monk had grown up. On a forest path, he encountered a mother and her daughter, both wearing modern clothing. Coincidentally, they were searching for the floating monastery on the lake. The monk guided them to meet his master. It turned out the young girl often suffered from a fever, but doctors could not determine the cause of her illness. The mother pleaded with the master to heal her daughter, and the master agreed to care for the teenage girl for a while. Afterward, the mother left. Over the next few days, the young monk secretly observed the girl. One day, as she slept in front of the Buddha statue, the monk took the opportunity to touch her. Unexpectedly, the girl woke up and slapped him. In guilty panic, the monk began to pray relentlessly. However, the girl had already forgiven him. When the master learned of it, he was surprised but suspected that something was wrong. Days later, the relationship between the monk and the girl grew closer, and it became clear that they liked each other, although they tried to hide it. Still, the master soon realized what was happening. One night, while they were asleep, the master deliberately removed the plug of their boat, letting it fill with water. The monk and the girl apologized to the master, but the master said that the girl was now healed and must leave immediately. When the master took the girl to the shore, the monk could not control his emotions. He prayed with tears streaming down his face, trying to surrender, but losing the girl disturbed his sleep deeply. The next day, the monk carried a Buddha statue on his back and left the monastery to search for the girl. Meanwhile, the master continued his life at the monastery with his pet cat. So, what illness do you think the girl suffered from? Write your answer in the comments.